What's up guys, it's your boy Uncle Stash here. This video ran kind of long, so I'll keep the intro short. This is just a little look into my day one of Deadman Mode on old school RuneScape. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right into it. So I missed recording right when I started. I had an account on the permanent Deadman world that I had to switch over, and then I chose my starting point as Faldor because I wanted to do the Witch's Quest. But as you can see, I really had no idea what I was doing here because you don't want to start in Faldor if you want to do the Witch's Quest because you got to get your leather gloves and your cheese. So I head over to the building. I'm messing with my settings because on the DMM world, for some reason, it changed a lot of my settings, some of my real light settings too, which was annoying. But I've already got my little quest helper up so it can baby me through it because I don't use quest helper, so I don't have any of this memorized. But it's about that time that I realized, oh shit, I need leather gloves and I need some cheese. So I try and get a plan on how to get back, and I figure I'll just use my home teleport because that's going to be the fastest way to get back. And then I can go to the Lumbridge Swamp for the cheese, or for the leather gloves, and then I can go to Draenor for the cheese. So I spawned in Lumbridge and it's insane. This is some of the stuff that I love about Deadman Mode is like it's just a million people. It's fun to see everybody in the same spot, all trying to do the same thing. I try and grab some runes and quest items from the mage chute really quick, and then I come down here to get some stuff from the bank, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could buy cheese from the bank down here, the little chest. And again, just terrible lack of game knowledge. Obviously, the recipe for disaster isn't completed yet. So I get down there and I'm like, shit. And then I'm like, all right, screw it. We'll head over. We'll get the gloves. We'll go get the cheese and get the quest going. After I grab the gloves, I run over here. The cheese is already gone, so people are grabbing it fast. And I don't know the respawn time, so I was like, shit, how long is this going to take? But luckily it comes up pretty quick. I just talked to Aggie for a minute and see what she says because I never talked to any of these NPCs. So that's another thing I like about Deadman Mode is it kind of forces you to learn about new stuff. And just like that, we're back in Tavelry and we can try and do the Witch's Quest. So I sped this clip up for you guys because, spoiler alert, it's not going to be the last time you see me here doing this. So we go downstairs, get the magnet, follow the quest helper, get the cheese, and then we're going to run down the hallway and try and avoid the witch. I was afraid there were going to be a lot of people down here, but there were only like 2 or 3 accounts down here waiting at the door, so not the worst thing. And then I think I was trying to look at the wiki there, and I just ran. I have no idea what I was thinking. It was stupid. I should have just been more focused in the moment. But I'm like, whatever, no big deal. We just got teleported out. We'll go do it again. So I come over here, and I spam click the door like 15 million times, as you guys can see. And even though the ladder behind me is like flashing blue, like, hey bud, you gotta come down here and redo it, I'm just spamming the door, and then still I go upstairs, I see a door key, I'm like, oh cool, it's the door key. No, it's not the door key. So it's about this time I realized that I really messed up. I come down here, I get the magnet, I go upstairs, and then I'm like, shit, I don't have the cheese. So now I'm really in a bad spot. We go all the way back to Draenor, and we get 1 piece of cheese, but I want to grab 2 because we already messed up once. And I got my first piece, and I'm waiting for it to respawn, and this guy shows up. So I just start spam clicking, and, small victory for me getting the cheese there. While I'm down in Draenor, and I was trying to steal the cheese from that guy, I noticed that he had the Chronicle in his hand, and I was like, shit, that's not a bad idea. If I had the Chronicle, I could have been back here a little bit sooner. And it'll be teleports in the future, so I came over here to Django, I think it is, or I'm not sure. I check with this guy first, see if he has any wines. They're all out. And then, it is Django. So I get the Chronicle, put some tickets in it for teleports. I think one thing that I focused on too much in the beginning was food, because I have the hour of protection. Obviously, I was going to be fighting the NPCs, but I knew they had safe spots. So I don't know why I put such a stressor on food, but now I need you to watch really closely here. So I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the Grand Tree was already completed, and I've barely started my Deadman Mode account. The Grand Tree is not supposed to get completed until you're in the 50 or the 71 to 90 combat bracket, I believe. So I don't know what happened there. It also auto-completed Tree Gnome Village and Waterfall Quest. So I really screwed a lot of my early game strategy, but it is what it is. Okay, so I sped this part of the clip up again because, like I said, you guys have already seen it. I have 2 cheeses this time. I don't end up needing both, so I feel kind of bad that I stole it from that guy, but the respawn time isn't that long, so I'm sure he was okay. Doesn't look like too many more people have got to the door yet, but I do see a lot more people in the area. That guy just got tellied, so I feel bad for him. Hopefully he gets to hang on to that key. You lose the ball if you get teleported. I make it back to the door, and then I'm waiting. There was the first chance to get in the door that I missed, but I hit the second time, so I didn't have to wait too long. And then the first 2 monsters are super easy to kill, and then you just kill the last 2 with the safe spot in the southwest corner, or just south corner, I guess. But I take the bear out, and then I take the wolf, no big deal. And then I'm super excited when I head out, and I'm telling everyone, like, you know, good luck, I hope you make it through the door. And then I have another massive blunder. This quest has just been terrible. So here we go. So like, what's up? You know, good job, good luck. And then I thought the teleport was just a shortcut to get back to the kid and give him the ball. I didn't know that it takes the ball from you if you get teleported. So I was like, well, at least I got my other piece of cheese. But I guess if you make it to the shed once, you don't have to do that part again. So I run down, and I'm like, great, there's so many more people there now. Well, actually, I guess it's not too much more. But I'm like, you know, all these people have been waiting. How am I going to get back in? I think I got lucky once. You know, what are the chances I get lucky twice? So we're waiting, and then this guy finally kills the wolf, but he doesn't want to grab the ball. I don't know why. So I drop a question mark. Someone else does, I think, or he does. And then he finally grabs it, and I'm like, what's going on? And I just lucked out getting in. And then I had to re-kill the thing, and I'm like, where's the ball at? So I just started killing him, thinking it'll spawn, and then it was just a spawning thing. So I get it, and then I leave, and I wondered if I would screw them with the bear being in there, but it looks like it just automatically changes back to the first guy, so no big deal for them. And then I get the ball, I make sure to miss the witch that time, and if you guys look at the timer, it took about 40 minutes to do a quest. It should take maybe 10 minutes without teleports, tops. So the quest is finally done, and I'm trying to think of what to do. And all the mistakes I made during the quest killed my run energy. It took forever for it to restore. So I figured I could go to the Tree Gnome Village or the Gnome Stronghold and hit the Gnome Agility course. So it'll not take as long for my run to recharge. I didn't hit it forever, but I hit it. I think I got it up to level 20. So I just used Nigel to shoot me over there, and then I went straight to it. It was in a... Gnome Stronghold's in a protected area, so I probably could have done this later and used my protection for something a little more beneficial, but it got the job done, and the run energy was killing me during that quest with all the mistakes I made. So I made my way back to Varrock and checked the bank out, and I was going to the GE to see if I could sell anything, and I just kind of got curious to attack somebody, so I did, and I didn't notice that I didn't have enough Earth Runes to keep casting that spell. I probably could have got that kill, honestly, but I had the auto spell turned on, and then I ran out of Earth Runes, and then I forgot that the guards will mess you up if you're in the safe areas after you attack someone. So I run back out, and she's like, "Oh, I can get him. This is my chance." So then I started scuffing. I did a staff bash, and then I'm trying to cast this water bolt, and then I got to eat a little bit. Long story short, I don't get the kill. I at least survive. I think I make her run away again. But now I've got the skull for 5 minutes, and I've got to wait it out. So she runs back in, and then I just go find a place to hide and wait that skull out. So that was a fun little foyer into PKing. I saw someone die here. That's why I put this clip in here. It brought back the nostalgia of when you would see people accidentally die back in the day, because you didn't have gravestones. If you died to NPCs, all your stuff went on the floor, and I think you got the 20 or 30 seconds to try and get back before it would spawn to other players around you. And if you got back before that time, then you would be good. But anyways, I took some of his loot. That's where I got that blue wizard hat from. And then I make a huge mistake here. So this was a hard lesson to learn. But apparently in Deadman Mode, when you drop stuff, it's instantly available to other players. So I drop all my runes so I could go collect some, because they tell you if you have some in the bank, you can't get some. So I drop them, and I go over to the magic tutor. I go over to the magic tutor to get my runes, and she's like, "Okay, here you go." And then I'm all excited. I'm like, "Cool, 30 free runes." And I run back, and everything's gone. And I'm like, "Oh, whoops." So I check out homeboy. He got all my runes, and I was like, "Shit." So I spent a long time killing guards and some other stuff, and then finally it clicks that I should go get a Slayer task. So there's some PKers here like ragging each other, and it made me a little nervous, but then I just figured they're fighting each other, so I went back down and just made it over to Vananka. or Vanaka. I think it's Vanaka. I think I said it right the first time. But anyways, we just jog over there and get a task. It's hill giants, which is really nice because they're right there. So I head down there and I start killing some hill giants for a little while. I think I got my my mage up to about 60 over there. I wanted 55 for alch runes, or for high alch, but I figured that I couldn't get nature runes, so I just stayed there killing them for a little while, but that got my mage pretty high, which was nice, and then I was just making a plan to go from there. Eventually I got a beginner clue from one of the hill giants, and I wanted to go complete it to see if I could get anything cool, and this guy started attacking me, or girl, so I was like, alright, cool, let's go. If I'm not going to skull up, I'll fight back. It takes me a sec to get everything going, because I had put player attack options on hidden after I fought that one person earlier, because I didn't want it to happen again, and took her out pretty easy. Her bank key didn't have very much in it, but it was still satisfying to get a kill. I mean, they weren't fighting me with anything. I think they were using their hands, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. Then this kind of led to my next big mistake. I wasn't paying attention that I was on defensive casting. It just wasn't something that I am used to paying attention to, and it pushed my defense level high enough that it put me out of the combat bracket, and I wasn't planning to be out of the bracket that soon, so that really threw my plans for a loop again. When I got to the new bracket, the plan was to get my prayer up to 43 while we had the protection, but I didn't have enough big bones by that point because I wasn't ready to be in the next bracket yet. So it got us up to 41, pretty close, but not enough. And then I as a last-ditch effort, I wanted to try and fight Obor to get some money so I could buy some more big bones. And I thought that I could just kind of outrun him and use prey range to fight him and survive. But there's not a lot of room to run around, and he kind of took it to me. I got his health down to 40, so I wasn't doing terrible, but it just wasn't enough, and we did end up biting the bullet. So at this point, I'm pretty far down in the dumps. I just kept doing Slayer with what I could with whatever runes I could afford, and we got some cow fights, which sucks. Their drops suck, and they're not super easy to kill. I finally knocked it out. I think it was around 90 of them. Yeah, 93. And we got a little bit of a stroke of luck here. So I teleport back to Varrock, and someone was skulled up and tellied to Varrock, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's got good loot, and he's going to drop all of it. So I get on him, but I only had 3 inventory spots, so I grab what I can, and then I'm like, oh shit. So I spam drop all my T's, and then I just spam click everything. And I actually got some really good loot. This was the one saving grace of this whole run, because as you guys have seen up until this point, it's been really rough. We haven't made almost any progress. So this was really a huge lucky break for me, and it's kind of the one thing that's kept me going so far. So it was really nice to have this happen to me. So there you have it, guys. If you couldn't tell, this was my first time just recording raw footage and then doing a voiceover over it. So I apologize that the video was a little rough. I'm sure you could tell. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you still watching all of it. Any advice or critiques are appreciated down below. Editing this video was almost as rough as my whole Deadman mode run so far. But I think some of the things that I learned the most was that if there's sigils, you need to prioritize getting into higher combat levels and doing your Slayer, because I'm at a point where I've been recording this video, I've been trying to skill, and there's some dope skilling sigils. There's one where you receive quintuple of your resources every time, so you cut down 1 tree, you get 4 logs. You fish 1 salmon, you get 4 salmon, so on and so forth. But all those are way too expensive for me to buy now because I have no money. So I think it would have been smarter just to rush end-game Slayer type stuff and rush the higher combat brackets because you have a higher drop rate. I think that would have been the play to make. That's one of the big things that I learned. And then, especially right off the rip, people were putting stuff in the GE for dirt cheap. I don't know why, just to get whatever money they could and swap it to old school cash because the rates were higher at that point. I don't know. But I probably could have hopped over to the GE, right after I finished Witch's Quest or something, and put in some super lowball offers and see if I can snag anything for free. That's definitely something else I would have liked to try. But some of the things that I cut out was I did a few other quests, like I did Cook's Assistant, I did Inn Catcher, Sheep Shear, all those things. I also I did a lot of Drainer Agility and Varrock Agility, but for the most part, I was just killing the guards and then doing some Slayer tasks. So like I said, for the last bit of time trying to edit this video, which has taken me a while, I've just been skilling, and I have some offers in the GE right now for skilling sigils, so hopefully those buy through, and maybe I can make a little bit of a cash stack that way. The guy dying at Varrock seriously was a saving grace. Like, I didn't even know what I was going to do for a video. I didn't know what I was going to do for a second video, if I even got to that point. But him dying gave me a lot of stuff to work with, so I really lucked out there. And I think I would like to get to a point where I have enough money that I can buy some resources and do Song of the Elves quest. I just beat that on my main for the first time ever a couple weeks ago, so I'm pretty fresh with the quest, and I don't think it would be too hard to beat. And then that way, if I ever die, I could always just go back to the gauntlet, and that's a free way to make cash. You don't need any overhead, any capital, or anything like that. So again, I apologize, the video was really rough. Definitely this Deadman Mode has been a learning lesson for me, and editing this video has kind of been a learning lesson too. So like I said, if you made it this far, I really do appreciate it so much. Leave a like and leave something in the comments below for me. Thank you guys so much. Take it easy. Peace out.